Lovely. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Pitch Bristol Regional Final. And a special thank you to the people that came and sat at the front after being bullied. So I really appreciate you filling in the seats there. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Chris. I'm the Programme Manager here at the Pitch. And for those of you that don't know the Pitch, it's actually a Bristol institution. So it was launched here about 15 years ago, and we've been supporting founders ever since. We've actually got the original founder, Dan Martin, somewhere in the audience. Can't see you, Dan, but yeah, he's giving us a wave back there. So yeah, amazing legacy, and we've supported hundreds of founders over the years and facilitated tens of millions of pounds in investment. So a huge impact, but it is a national program now. So we go all around the country running these demo days, these pitching events, having the best founders in the region, each region pitch. And then the winner from tonight and the People's Choice from tonight will go on to the grand final in London next month to pitch to well-known entrepreneurs and investors. You can also have a choice on who goes through to the final, so there will be a people's vote. So have a think about the founders, have a think about the startups, what you think about their idea, their potential, and right at the end we'll share a QR code which you can vote, and the winner of the People's Choice will go through to the final as well. There's other ways you can get involved too, so perhaps it's just that you want to share their pitch on social, maybe you want to become a customer, or even you can help them in some ways. That might be mentoring. It might even be that you want to make an investment. So do use that networking time at the end to go and meet the founders, chat to them, and if you can help them, that's amazing. We're going to start off with a short panel from our judges. They're all local investors, and they're all very supportive of the entrepreneurs in the region. So we'll get to hear a little bit about what they do and also how the investment process works, what they look for, and so on. So if you are building a startup yourself, it's an opportunity to learn, and there will be some audience questions too. So if there's anything particular you want to ask about your journey or getting in touch and so on, that's your opportunity to do so. And they're a really friendly bunch, so don't be scared to put your hand up. So I'll welcome them to the stage and my co-host Holly. And if we could just have a huge welcome and Bristol welcome. Give them a round of applause.
Sorry to rub your seat there. Hi everyone, welcome to the Pitch 2024. Tonight we've got an incredible mix of startups pitching this evening, but before we get started, just got a few questions to help us get to know our judges a little bit better. As Chris mentioned, once I've asked these questions, I will open it up to the audience, so if you have got any burning questions that you want to ask, have a think now, and then we'll hopefully get to it at the end of the session. So just to start us off, if you could please all give us a brief introduction as to who you are and what you do. I'm sorry you do have to share a microphone, so if you don't mind passing it down to each other.
Well, I'm holding the mic, I may as well say hello first. Great to meet you all. So I'm Sam Simpson. I'm an exited founder. I grew a company from 0 to 30 million in 4 years and exited to private equity. I don't tell many founders this, but I bootstrap that, so it's not particularly compatible with what I do now. I'm one of the co-founders at FounderCatalyst. We help people with the most cost-effective way of closing a funding round in the UK. I'm also an angel investor, so I've got 32 investments and about $750,000 deployed over the last 7 years. And I'm not quite Bristol, but I'm Newbury, so that's close enough to the southwest, I think, isn't it? Yeah, delighted to be here, and thanks again for the invite. I think this is my 3rd or 4th year, and I think every time I come here, it's the most eclectic selection of pitches I see, so it's brilliant.
Hi everyone. I'm your substitute teacher today, so I was only asked to do this like 2 days ago. So I'm sitting here a bit like class, I guess. But just to introduce myself, so I'm Matt. I am an investor and an advisor, and I've spent a career in startups and scale-ups, so ran Go Compare for a while, spent a bit of time in Silicon Valley, so I've kind of been in businesses as well as now investing in businesses. I've got a modest portfolio, which is just me, so I've got no other operation around me, but I invest basically in companies that I think are really, really cool. And then the rest of the time, what I'm doing is I'm helping through advising and consultation and all these kind of things. I'm also an advisor in residence at Set Squared.
Those are impressive resumes. I'm Amy Newton, and I run Newton's Theory, where we are CFOs to bookkeepers, and we support businesses who are raising and exiting. We've done that a number of times with businesses who both raised angel VC or bootstrapped. And this is my second business as well. And on the side, I do Inclusive Angels, and we challenge who is considered to be an angel or an entrepreneur, and we do that with open events and roundtables with investors around what does inclusive investing look like.
Perfect, thanks very much, guys. So what would you say is the most important thing that you look to hear in a pitch?
I want to hear the founders' aspirations for the business. I want to hear that they've understood what their customers want and that they've spoken to them directly and they've got feedback with that, and so they really understand their market and the customers and how they will scale from concept to commercialisation, which is a lot harder than just taking a product straight to market.
Those are all amazing points. I can't really add to those. I would probably say, looking that you're not hiding something, because we've seen it all before, right? So, and we can smell it. So, like, it's much more effective if you're just honest about where you're at with things, and you're saying that this is the problem we're up against now, this is how we're thinking about it, and that's really, really helpful to see. It's actually, you can think of it like showing you're working, because it helps us understand your process, your mindset, your energy that you're bringing to it. So don't look at problems that you're up against as things that you need to squirrel away, so you can only talk about the green lights. The red lights are just as important to us as much of a story as the green lights do.
Those are really great points. I hate going last on these things. So I actually, we got an article on our FounderCatalyst website which does a brain dump of how an angel investor thinks. So I sat down with lots of angel investors and drew a mind map of all of the, kind of broke them down into, team, proposition, scalability, I forget, other stuff. And it kind of a mind map of what every investor is looking at, and every investor will have a different preference. Now, my personal preference is all around team, because I'm a very early stage investor. I only invest in kind of SEIS, first funding round, and you'll have an idea that is probably wrong. You won't have any validation from customers. You certainly won't have paying customers. Probably you won't have a product I can see. So it is me buying into you and the team, knowing that or hoping that if you bump into problems, then you will pivot and do something slightly different to solve the problem. So yeah, for me, it's absolutely 100% about the team at an early stage.
Amazing, really interesting points for our pitches, especially this evening. What gets you guys really excited about a startup? I guess if you want to go first, since you're holding it.
No time to think on this, I have no excuse. Yeah, I mean, I like, for me, I want energy from a founder. I need real passion from a founder. I need to, when you get on a pitch and somebody's going next through the slide and they look like their dog just died, you're like, yeah, I'm not sure this one's entirely from me. If you're looking like that before a funding round, give it a couple of years and it'll be devastating. So yeah, I want lots of passion. I want a mixture of the team. I really, I get excited by seeing. One of my favourite investments, if I can talk for a second, is a local business called Kelp Industries. They are a Bath University related business, and their CTO has got a PhD in seaweed and is a professor of seaweed. That man loves seaweed, I think. But he's got an amazing commercial team alongside him who bring, they know how to sell to industrial and pharmaceutical partners and da-da-da-da-da. So if you look at their business, I mean, that is an exemplar of, that is a perfect business. That is just such an investable business. And that excites me. They'll let the CTO talk about molecules and shit, and then they will pass on to the commercial team who say, this is how we're going to approach Pfizer and we're going to send them to them. And you put the two together and you go, oh, just take my money. That's it.
Yeah, I guess to add to that, maybe a different angle is the way I look at it, which is, again, I'm kind of a solo person, so I don't have a team who looks at this stuff. So it's a lot of what I do is it something that I personally believe in? And I'm always looking for things that should be a thing, if that makes sense. You're looking at that and you're like, wow, if that was in the world, that would have a phenomenal impact, and how might I help that become a real thing? So yeah, that's there's obviously numbers and all this kind of stuff alongside it, but a lot of it does come down to gut. There's no doubt about it. And my personal gut likes to go with adding value to missions that look like they can have phenomenal impact in the world.
Good points. Definitely energy, grit in the founder, because it's going to be a difficult, open-minded, growth mindset. For me, really, it's around, are they looking at the whole of their market, and by that I mean very inclusively? Are they considering women, black and ethnic majorities? Are they considering that as different groups as a whole market? Or are they missing underrepresented people in the markets? And are they considering, do they think differently? Are they thinking about, have they picked something that other people are not seeing and they might be being told that's not a market?
Absolutely, thank you guys. I think moving into sort of solving some of the problems that a lot of startups and potential pitchers face is a lot of early stage businesses haven't actually launched yet, so they can't really use revenue as a traction metric. What would you advise that those early stage businesses use to measure it instead? Amy, I guess you volunteered yourself holding it.
Sitting in the middle was a really great idea.
Market research. Have they tested with actually the customers? Do they know their subject? Do they know how difficult the journey is going to be? Have they considered the marketing? Have they considered what that commercialization and operational build takes? So it's really, do they know what they don't know? And do they know a little bit of what they should know in order to know what they don't know? So that they can bring in consultants or board advisors.
Yeah, again, amazing points. I think I've lost my train of thought is what I think. What was the question, sorry?
So a lot of businesses, early stage businesses, haven't launched yet.
Yes.
Traction.
Thank you very much. Right. So I'm a product guy at heart. So I spent 10 years as a product manager, building all sorts of fun stuff. And I've learned over the years the importance of sales, but also I subscribe to the philosophy of a great product sells itself. And I love the whole philosophy of signing up your customers before you have a product as well. It's something that always resonated with me, and I've always tried to do with all of the things that I've done. And what that looks like is building a following around something. So you show that there's intent, you show that there's magnetism towards a thing. And it's okay that you say, I'm not sure exactly how we're going to solve this thing yet, but there's clear demand and drive here, and we can prove this through these numbers and through these experiments and these tests that we're doing. If you're able to show that, and that's going to look different every time, that is as magical as revenue. If you can show, and they're credible numbers as well, I will emphasize that, they need to be credible numbers, but if you can show that attraction, that gravity towards problem space, then that's a really strong signal, for sure.
I think, so traction is useful, but it's not a black and white thing. I think, traction's everything from you've got a pitch deck, a bright idea, you've got a team formed, all the way through to you've got millions in revenue. What traction really does is de-risk for an investor, and you've got to think of other ways you can de-risk. And there, walk through the types of risks that an investor's considering. You've got commercial risk. Do customers want it? Are they willing to pay the right price? Can you produce it for a sensible price? You've got technological risk. Is it feasible what you're doing? You've got regulatory risk. So if you can batter down, look at it from another angle, even though you're not selling anything yet, can you solve all the problems? How are you going to de-risk it in your presentation to founders? I think that's really powerful for me, at least.
Amazing, thank you. It's really helpful. I'm going to direct this one firstly to you, Matt, as you kind of briefly mentioned you are a solo team yourself. But we have a lot of solo founders at the pitch.
Yeah.
How can they show that they've got the right team and experience to succeed?
Yeah, amazing question. I would start just by maybe asking yourself why you're trying to go solo and whether that's the right thing. Just if you've never asked yourself that, then start with that for sure. But let's run with that being the right thing for you. One of the things that you can do that's really powerful, that's certainly helped me over the years, is you go out there and you find it, lots of people. It always astonishes me how generous people are with their time. So when you find some good mentors, think about how you might turn mentors into sponsors. And there's a key difference there. So a mentor is somebody that you can pick up the phone to, you've got a problem and a question, and they're able to give you some morsel of advice from some old battle scar that they've got, right? Whereas a sponsor is driving for you, right? So, and they're being proactive on your behalf. So there's lots of other pieces of advice for solo founders, but the one that I think is not talked about enough, but I always think is really, really powerful, is see how you can recruit up, if that makes sense. And those people that are attracted to what you're doing, who also bring the expertise and things like reputation with them as well. If you can turn those folks into sponsors, that's going to do nothing but great things for what you're doing. And now I have a choice whether I go left or right.
Both avoid eye contact.
Yeah, I think this comes down to risk as well. There are lots of investors out there that will not invest in a solo founder. There are some people who just won't. I've got a standard answer I'm going to give here, which is you don't have to impress those people. There are 250,000-ish angel investors in the UK. Even if half of those don't invest in solo founders, you've still got half that do, so just worry about impressing those. I personally, I am fussy when it comes to sole founders, but I've invested in lots of sole founders. They've just got to have all of the right skills, at least in the right place. The question you're going to get, the question in my mind always is, how do you turn yourself into a business that has all of the aspects you need? So how do you handle sales and marketing, go-to-market and finance, and product, and all of that stuff? How do you do that, you being a single person? And the other answer is you build a team. So that the really important slide for you is going to be your roadmap slide. And I want to hear, I'm raising 250k, and I'm going to recruit and pick whatever your weak spot is. Go to market would be my worst thing. So I'll be going, I'm going to get a sales and marketing person in. I think you can de-risk it again by de-risking for the investor and show how you acknowledge the problem and how you're going to fix it using the investment cash.
I'd also focus on the positive of just having one founder, because sometimes when you could be, say, a university spin out 2 professors, 3 professors the same. So you, as a founder, solo founder, you can pick different advice or different consultants that you need at different stages. We've seen founders where there's 3 founders and they raise 150k. That doesn't go very far when you've got 3 founders who need to be paid, even if it's a small amount, just for living expenses. That can create friction. As a solo founder as well on the cap table, you've got more equity to sell. So you are still motivated, and investors will look at how much equity each of the founders still have as they get diluted through different rounds. And if you have 3 founders, you're going to have less equity. So it's also focusing on the positives and seeing how you can buy in consultancy or advice or bring in different people when you need them at different stages. So there's pros and cons.
Perfect, thank you guys. Am I on good time or? Cool, amazing. So thank you so much. That is the end of my questions at least. Is there anyone in the audience that's got any burning? Wow, don't even let me finish. I mean, you were super speedy, so if you want to go first.
Good afternoon, I'm Solomon, Sam, Matt, Amy. What I wanted to ask you, right, is I believe that like how you do something is how you do everything, from the way you like wake up, the way you tidy your room, the way you run your business. So I wanted to know, like, throughout you guys' lives, is there any like guiding principle or like philosophy or like just the way you approach life or anything that's like bled into like everything you do that's allowed you to get to where you are right now?
I'll answer as soon as I've got it. For me, it would be great when things don't go well, because they always will. For me, it's how you can pick yourself up quite quickly and see how can you make that better, and there's no blame for you and your team. And that's, see, for me, that's how I live my life. That's wrong, and they do.
It's a really interesting question. I would say I've recently been living by the mantra of pay forward. It's become increasingly important for me that I'm doing that.
What do you mean by that?
So I've been very fortunate in my career and also in my investment journey as well. So, and lots of people have helped me along the way, and they didn't have to do that. You know, they've made it, they're done, they didn't have to do that. And I think when you get to a certain point, and it can be at any point really, like everybody who sat in this room is at a point where they could help somebody else, just look backwards every now and again and say, how can I help the next person, rather than pulling up the ladder behind me? What, you know, so being generous with time. So like I volunteer at a charity to help repair people's equipment, like their home appliances. So I spend one Saturday a month just soldering kettles back together.
That's really nice.
That's great. It's certainly easier than all this other stuff. But yeah, like pay it forward. And that was the mantra I brought into investment as well, and it kind of ties with my whole thing around finding things that should be a thing, because if I can help the founder, that's on their journey, and then also that thing that they're working on being for the greater good of the community as well, and that's all good as far as I'm concerned.
No, thank you. It's very like cyclical. It's like
Right.
You're not just a consumer. It's like you're giving back in a cycle kind of.
Yeah, that's it.
Those are great answers. I'm not sure how to follow those, but I guess my own personal mantra has been forever, you know, just to wake up and do the best you can every single day. I've never had a career plan. I've never applied for a job. I became an accidental entrepreneur in 2013 when I grew the company. I didn't want a job. I got made, you know, a 2,500 person company got closed overnight. So I started my own company, but my motivation there was the same as every day before it, which is wake up every day and do the absolute best you can. And actually, I think, you know, you'll have good days and bad days, but I'm a really massive fan in, there's some great statistics online, but stacking small improvements. So every day make a 1% difference, 1%, and keep doing that. Consistency is key, and then, you know, good things will happen as a result, I think.
Thank you.
Amazing, thank you very much. And I think we've got like time for maybe one more quick question. You've had your arm just sort of lingering in the air if you want to go first.
So I'm launching a women's workwear clothing company within the next year, and I kind of have everything I need except potentially for a mentor or a sponsor who has experience I've got experience in manufacturing and clothing myself. It's actually my background. I studied at university, but I don't have recent experience. So I'm looking for someone who has recently done it, is in the market at the moment. How would you go about finding such a person? Where would you look?
LinkedIn. LinkedIn's got everything, right? Sorry, are you looking for a co-founder, an employee, or a mentor, or what kind of person?
I consider a co-founder or a business partner, but I think preferably I'm a solo founder and I like that. But I think a mentor or better a sponsor would be ideal.
Yeah, the answer's still LinkedIn, I don't know where else. But yeah, no, seriously, LinkedIn you can find whether you want investors, founders, co-founders, partners, mentors, whatever, just get on LinkedIn. If you're looking for a co-founder or something like it, then Y Combinator have a co-founder matching part of the platform, which some people love and some people don't, but yeah, for everything else, LinkedIn.
I don't think there's a magical answer. I think it's just through your journey you're going to meet a whole bunch of people, and you should consider how you might meet more people. So going to specialist events, for example, and just saying hi to as many people as possible. And the nice thing about that is you'll meet people that have experience and insight that you didn't even know that you needed to ask for, you know. So that whole network effect of just immersing yourself in the world, bringing a mission, telling everyone you can until they're, bored as possible that you're telling them, but you're still telling them, because it's such a passion of yours, You'll just naturally expose yourself to people that bring an element, and you're like, wow, I want more of that. Actually, we could do something quite magical together if we were to join up in some way.
Do what you just did and say what you want, and when you're networking, ask. People want to help, so if they don't know somebody, they might know somebody who might know. There is a business in Bristol called Matthias and Sons who do workwear for people like Amazon. So they've not raised and exited, but they are quite large. But also LinkedIn.
Thank you, agree.
Brilliant, thank you. Well, that is about all the time we have left. So for anyone who does have any remaining questions, what is the best way for them to reach out and ask you?
LinkedIn.
We're like sponsored by LinkedIn at this point. Amazing. Well, thank you very much, guys, and best of luck to all the pitchers this evening. Can I get a round of applause?
Sorry. Brilliant. Really appreciate the panel there. Thought some great audience questions from the philosophical to the very practical, so that was really good fun. So thank you all. We're on to the pitches now. We've got 10 founders pitching tonight. It's a 90-second pitch and Q&A, so it's tough. And anyone who's done any kind of public speaking will know that walking to the front of the crowd can be a little bit intimidating. So what we ask from the audience is that as people are coming to the stage, you give them a massive round of applause, really give them that encouragement. Likewise, when they finish their pitch, let's celebrate what they're doing. So with that all in mind, you probably saw a second ago I accidentally clicked the slide button. The first founder that's pitching tonight is from Rollr. So if you could join us on stage.
Thank you. Ready?
Whenever you're ready.
Ooh, okay. So each of us wake up every morning and use chemicals and plastic to take on a challenge as old as time itself, sending 29 million deodorant canisters to landfill every single day. Deodorant, Rollr, the refillable roll-on deodorant, was designed to change that. That's because as a roll-on, Rollr offers the most amount of users a refillable deodorant in the type they already use, making our market 3 times larger than Wild and Fussy, who turned over £53 million in the UK last year. And years of innovation means that our natural refills are zero waste and require 80% less packaging than them or any other deodorant in the world. But Rollr isn't just a practical product like our polluting predecessors and waxy competitors. Rollr is the Tesla of deodorants. Designed for pleasure and planet, Rollr leverages a market-leading natural formulation with a sensorially delightful user experience. This drives unprecedented uptake and retention of a product that until now has been left behind by innovations in beauty and personal care simply because it's been so boring. And tastemakers agree, with the ex Grazia beauty editor and the founder of Beauty at Cork saying that Rollr is a total game changer and has Aesop vibes. That's because we've won 2 international design competitions, have 2 patents pending, 600 pre-orders and 3 launch retail listings, including the King's Pharmacy, John Bell and Croydon. And our team mirrors the ambition of our goals, co-founded by the ex-CMO of EE and one of the founders of the world-renowned Mother Design. Investors and advisors to date include the founder of Revolution Beauty, one of the co-founders of Oakley Capital. Sorry, let me go through the list here. The editor-in-chief of The Grocer, an ex-Unilever marketing director, and a handful of creative directors. Thank you. And this is what it smells like. M is mandarin, C is clary sage, and V is vetiver. Take them and pass them on if you'd like. And do a couple. Here you go. And And this is the last pocket, I promise. I'll just give you 2 of those. Thank you.
You smell? Yeah. That's a strong one, that one. Sorry.
I mean, I've lost track of what's now.
You guys are Thank you.
It's good to see you again.
Hey. Yes, that's right.
In terms of how far you've come forward
Yeah.
there, in terms of both investment and product development or out to market, can you tell us a bit about that?
Yep, so when was that, 2 months ago?
4, 2, 4.
2, 4, let's say 3.
Keen to see how far you move every quarter.
Yep, so since then we've got 410k more offered on the table. We've had investment from one of the co-founders of Oakley Capital. A chief investment officer from one of the biggest VCTs is coming on as an advisor. We've improved the product, which you see in front of you, in functional ways that you probably wouldn't notice unless I told you. And we've also improved the formulation. And the founder of Revolution Beauty, which went from launch to IPO in 7 years, is coming on as an investor and partner.
Hi.
Hey.
That was a really impressive pitch.
Thank you.
To do that straight with no cues or anything, that's very good.
Thank you.
Thought it was just worth mentioning because you're standing there. You don't want to be. This isn't Dragon's Den.
It feels a bit like it.
It's really good. So obviously you're raising like crazy right now. So how are you going to deploy that capital?
So about 2/5 goes on stock. 2/5 will go on marketing. So 2/5 is stock and working capital, so it's a few hires. Then 2/5 marketing, and then the remaining 20% will be launch and product development.
And what problems have you got left to solve in the product development?
Hopefully none on this product, but we have other products in the pipeline. So it's a game of continual improvement, and it's taken 3 years to develop the product to where it is today because it's been technically very difficult. And we believe we have the most effective formula on the market because we've tested it to be the most, but there's always room for improvement. So we'll keep doing that. We'll keep developing new scents, but we're not going to bring one out every week. We want it to feel more special and bring out maybe 3 every year. And then there's a few other products, like I said, in the makings, one of which will come soon as probably the idea of actually scent just on top. Because it's a nice way to tie the brand together. It elevates the deodorant proposition, and also we've been told that the scents are more perfume-like than deodorant-like, so it allows our customers to either blend or double up on their favourite one.
Super, thank you.
Thank you.
Very quick Q&A from Sam.
Yeah, very quick. So yeah, it was a great pitch. I'm reminded, the first one here, reminded how hard a 1 minute pitch is because it's impossible to cram things in, but you did a great job.
Thank you.
I just wanted to validate 1 point since Chris is bullying me. What was the chuck rate on deodorants? Was it 29 million a day or something? Did I write that down correctly?
29 million a day.
Worldwide?
That's in the US and EU.
That's ridiculous. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah, really powerful statistic.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome pitch to start and well done. So I'd like to welcome Slant to the stage, please.
Is this the X?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Small space. All right. So, am I okay? Yeah. So, hi everyone. My name is Artemis, and I'm the co-founder of SLANT Technologies, where we are developing electric bicycle trailers that can be attached to any bicycle and basically turn it into an electric cargo bicycle. So, we believe that people want to be sustainable, but in some cases they struggle to do so. And we see no better example of this than in car dependency, which generates around £20 billion of cost due to congestion per year just in Britain, and prematurely kills about 30,000 Britons every year. So we've seen forward strides in how people transport themselves and their cargo, their groceries, their children, with the invention of the electric cargo cycle. But that invention still has some problems. Number one, it is bloody expensive. £4,000 for the lower tier ones, £15,000 for the high-end ones, making it very prohibitive for people and businesses to use. And number two, it is very difficult to store. So our solution is an electric bicycle trailer that can attach itself into any normal bicycle, and through our weightless technology understands the pushing and pulling forces applied and makes the whole experience of carrying your cargo or your kids or your groceries completely weightless, and it does so intuitively without you requiring any training at all. So we've raised £40,000 worth of grants to do that. Prototype, we have 4 letters of intent to trial from courier businesses, and we are now raising £250,000 of SEIS for further prototyping, R&D, and go-to market, basically. Thank you.
Yeah, again, crammed a lot in, really awesome. Very quick question on, so the thing that jumped out to me is team. So can you bring to life just for a few seconds what you and your team looks like?
So I have a team of engineers. I have a software engineer, mechanical engineer, and an electrical engineer. And we have a wide range of advisors because we started at a university level. So we have advisors from the engineering space, in sustainable freight futures, in the cycling industry, and in design thinking. And we also have an advisor in medical technology, a product manager in medical technology, basically concerned with bringing medical products to market. So this is our team.
Perfect, thank you.
Great, hi, and again, echo again, that was a really great pitch, so
thanks.
Well done. Are you building the whole trailer, or are you building an element of the trailer? What is it? Is it a packaged product?
So yes, we're building the packaged products, basically an extension that you can attach to your bicycle. So we are developing the technology, the weightless technology, and also methods of having it both in sort of B2C models, but also in B2B models, so for different varieties of product. So right now we're early R&D stage, so sort of TRL3 area.
Okay.
Does
So
that?
you're super early, but you've still managed to raise, which is really, really great on Grant's side. And what about IP? Where are you at with looking at that?
We still haven't applied for a patent, but we are looking to be patent pending within the next 6 months.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Great idea.
Thank you.
Do you have competitors doing something similar?
Exactly similar to what we're doing? Not really.
Okay.
There's competitors in the B2B section, so carrying cargo and sort of last mile delivery.
Yeah.
None for B2C, so for consumers, for parents and campers and that sort of thing, that do electric trailers. There's a lot of complexity around, so there's European companies that can't come to the US because of our regulations, but in terms of our technology, no.
Do you have a target price point for consumers?
Yes, £2,000 to £2,500, with a manufacturing cost of around 800.
And that'll be that whole unit that carries...
Yes, a whole unit that you can attach to your bicycle.
So sort of twice the price of a non-electric.
Yes.
Are you looking to Innovate UK?
Yeah, we are. There's a smart grant coming up, so we're going to be looking to apply for that.
Julian's in the audience. You should be speaking to Julian.
Hi. Will do. Thank you very much.
It's a great pitch there, and hopefully a really useful connection as well. So can I welcome to the stage Cacto Drinks. who was definitely here earlier, but
We're just standing there.
is he drinking? Oh, okay. We've got samples.
You never know, I might get a customer out of it. Ladies first.
Excellent. So when you're ready.
Thank you, Chris. Good evening. My name's Sam Jukes. I'm the proud founder of the Cacto Drinks Company, a prickly pear cactus drink, which is the first of its kind in the UK. Now, as abstract as cactus fruit may sound, it's built on a very simple premise: to provide natural, low sugar and calorie drinks that are enriched with nutrition. It's the same premise that Vita Coco, the coconut water brand, built their company to a $1 billion valuation on. But we have a natural advantage, and it's why cactus water is being held as the new and improved version of coconut water. According to UN reports, over half the population of the world will not have clean drinking water by the end of this decade. Yet over 70% of the world's water is used in agriculture. A coconut palm, for example, uses around 700 litres of water every single week to grow, which is enough to keep a human alive for 2 years. A cactus plant uses less than that in an entire year, can survive with hardly any water whatsoever. Remarkably, it creates a delicious, nutrient-rich fruit that we use to blend our recipes, and it's full of nutrition and provides over 85% water content in that fruit, and it's proven very popular. With a recent Great Taste Award, as well as growing demand, we have an expression of interest for over 100,000 units and the opportunity to export and sell our product in 4 continents. We need a team and some money to do that due to manufacturing and fulfillment costs. Thank you very much for listening, and welcome any questions.
Great pitch, great taste.
Thank you.
Remind me, what stage are you at? Is it purely for stock, commercialisation? What's the funding?
I've spent the last, removed from actually the foundation of the business, last 4 years of my life obsessing over prickly pear cactus. It's a strange obsession. It's made a lot of people glaze over, a lot of dodgy looks, but we've got to the point now where we have a commercialised, finalised range that is ready to, we've already gone to market. We started trading just under sort of around 2 years ago. I've tried, I've tested, I've spent my own money, spent my own time validating with customers, getting out there, building a network in the drinks industry that I didn't have. And now we're finding a position where we have a huge expression of interest. I have a 30,000 can order today. So we have that demand, but to be really candid, I've run out of money. So I need to build a team. I've started interviewing for co-founders, and I'm about to bring in a co-founder who was pivotal behind the rise of Turtle Bay, and some of those franchises are well connected in that space. So we're kind of ready. I like to call it the cusp of success. I like to believe that anyway. So yeah.
Again, another amazing pitch, well done. And
Thank you.
Delicious. Like, unbelievable. You have to try this stuff.
Can I use it as a review?
Yeah. I love prickly pears. I love prickly pear jam. It's one of the best things in the world.
Yep.
Yeah. How do you farm cactuses?
We get them, it's kind of top secret, but you get them from Europe, which is as close as we can get them. And they're, again, cultivated in a very sustainable way. So I'll give you some stats on it. I said about the 700 litres of water a week for a coconut palm. Where we get it, it gets less than that in an entire year, and is actually rainfall. So it's a case of the lovely farmers that we have plans to go out and meet, to go and essentially, they use a can and a stick and go and pluck them off because they're lethal. Because when I started the business, I used to blend them myself and make my recipes. So I'd be sort of walking around with spikes in my hand. So there's a method to the madness, but thankfully someone else does that part for me now.
Yeah. Okay. So do you have those agreements, and can you see how you would scale that quickly?
Yeah. That was one of the hardest parts of the business, is sourcing a reliable source for it's a very rare product. But we have a really solid supply now, where actually they import it as well for us, which was a real headache for me as a sort of sole founder originally and not knowing what I was doing. So it's really reliable, and we've got some really good agreements in place. We've actually got 10 tonnes of prickly pear in the country at the moment in a cold storage, in case anyone wants any. Welcome to any buyers. So yeah, that is, the bones of the business is good. Supply, manufacturing, contacts, and network to sell, those sort of 3 stages.
How many will that fulfill? Give me an idea of how many cans that will make.
Depending on our range, but we use sort of between 20% to 40% prickly pear, and then there's some sort of excess around that. So obviously you can times that number by 5. So it's equivalent of sort of 50 tonnes, and then you're figuring out how many units that is. So I'm not going to do the maths off the top of my head. I wish I did that before, but it's a lot. It's my best answer. Okay. I'll get my calculator out afterwards and give you a definitive answer. Yeah.
All right, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think calling them prickly pears is an understatement, and calling that delicious is an understatement as well. I was really enjoyed it. Yeah, I love the taste and everything about it. So the question on so the first question is, what role do you have in the company? How do you see that being in the future once you close your funding round? And the second is, what is your funding round? What are you raising?
Yeah, to date it's all been self-funded and through pitching competitions, and generosity of some sort of competitions, university alumni stuff, things like that. The way I see myself, I built the bones of the business with a lot of hard work and a lot of failure, actually, to be honest, to figure it all out. And now I'm trying to bring people in that are plugged into the industry, get it, can take me to another level and start to outsource. You said something when you answered a question earlier about trying to do that and this and that. And I've lived, and I've got a young child and kids on the way, and it's just a bit chaotic in that sense. I want to build a team that can focus on the stuff that I'm useless at, like marketing, social media, that side of it, finance. And I've got those people in mind and started to reach out to those people. It's just a case of money to fulfill manufacturing opportunities and money to actually start bringing in the right people to make it a tangible thing in the long term without me burning myself out trying to do it all, just spinning plates essentially. As honest as I can be about it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Thank you. And the next startup up is Party Without Plastic, please.
Yeah, here's my son. I'm not giving my stick to a random stranger. Don't worry. Yeah, lovely. Thank you. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Although I do occasionally give my stick to random strangers. It's quite a starting point. Am I okay to go?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. We love to party, but while our celebrations last a few hours, their impact on our earth can last for decades. Most children's party decorations are single-use plastic disposables, and 5 million kilograms of plastic waste are created by UK weddings every single year, ending up in landfill or oceans. This has to stop. But we need to make it easy for consumers. How do we do that? We need to, sourcing party essentials, plastic-free party essentials, avoiding greenwashing, laborious research. It's all really difficult for consumers right now. So imagine everything in one place. A marketplace that's trusted, transparent and ethical, where every single sale supports not just the planet, but small businesses. Welcome to Party Without Plastic. It's a better way to party. We solve the problem, we alleviate the fears, and we're delivering on the wider vision to reduce and ideally eliminate the plastic footprint from the party supplies industry. We're supporting event venues and corporates with their ESG targets as well. We're an accredited marketplace with 200 products at the moment, which has been developed during my 20 years business experience. We have support with IT and socials and recognised through a number of awards. The growing party supplies industry is going to be worth, predicted, around $20 billion by 2028. So we've got an amazing opportunity here to actually make a real impact. We've got more social proof than I can check a plastic-free stick at, and we're literally only a few months old. We've literally only been up a few months old. So you can imagine how I feel about maybe getting some investor backing and what we could achieve from there. We're in Bristol, Massive Attack held their amazing celebrations. What they showed the other week was celebrations can be green and clean. So if you care about the planet and small business and you love what you're doing, please come and talk to me. That's it.
Thanks, Ryan. Love the idea and your passion. And yeah, well done again to fitting it into just a minute. So my question is around, kind of your raise. So if you could bring to life how much you're raising and what you're aiming to do with it, and whether, I don't know whether there's any working capital to hold stock or whether you're kind of a middleman that drop ships based upon orders.
So we function very similar to like an Etsy marketplace, so we don't hold any stock at all. Right. But what we do is I've got a wait list of sellers. So the 200 products come from a range of small business sellers from across the UK, but in order to have the ethical and the transparency and not having the greenwashing, I have to carry out all the due diligence on those. So I have to know where every product's come from, how it's made. So we're really super transparent in terms of materials that we allow on the marketplace and what we don't. Yeah. So that obviously takes time. But the shipping of it happens basically through the marketplace, but the small business sellers send that out. Yeah. Okay, so the business model is we take a commission at the point of sale. Yep. The other side of it on the B2B is something that I'm really super keen to develop through the investment as well, because I think we can do like a lot of work in terms of supporting corporates with their ESG and also like event venues. I want to do a lot more work there. So when they're hosting things like venues, you can offer, the autumn said, would you like to try a plastic-free wedding, for example? And we can help with that. In terms of raise, we're very, very early stage. So I'm a solo founder, so I've done everything myself. It's been 9 to 12 months development with an amazing teenage son who's super good at quite a lot of things as well. So it's a bit of a family biz. But I have lots of plans in terms of how we need to develop it. There's bits of the marketplace that I feel are a bit clunky, that need looking at, and the whole marketing side of it in terms of how we tell the story and engage those eco-conscious consumers, those kind of things. That's where I need the support. Ideally, I'm looking for around about 150k. This is my first time I've ever pitched. Even though I've got lots of experience in business, I've never really put myself out there. But I am just super passionate about this. It needs to be like, for me, it's a legacy business as well. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. That is amazing. I really love the idea and so important.
Yeah.
So you're a vetted marketplace in effect.
Yeah, I mean, basically, we're approved by the Good Market, the Global Good Market. We're going through accreditation with Good Shopping Guide, so the likes of Neil's Yard and Toast and organisations, that's going through that at the moment. And I'm a member of the Institute of Environmental Sciences. I'm studying with the IEMA. I did pass some first exams in January, but also I'm looking to collaborate. We're hoping to collaborate with UEA's Environmental Sciences Department, because there's lots of issues around plastics that I think people don't understand around things like bioplastics and stuff like that. So there's a lot of navigation we have to do. So I'm trying to do all the hard work for the consumers so that when they come in, they haven't got to kind of, it's just, there's so much greenwashing, and party supplies is just rampant with greenwashing. So we're trying to cut right through that. So, but some of it's quite technical. So I'm on like this massive learning curve, but every time I'm learning through my studies, I put that learning into practice through the marketplace.
Makes sense. And have you considered going beyond direct to consumers? Have you considered, so what does that look like? Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very early days at the moment. We've literally only launched a few months ago. So, and I say we've already got like the wait list with sellers and things, but the B2B I think is absolutely potentially huge. So I've got some organisations already who have said, I'm looking at maybe being for corporates, something like being a preferred supplier, so that we can hit a lot of their ESGs when they're having celebrations or parties. We've got like edible tableware range, where there's like literally like zero waste, which is amazing. That's really thrown people today. They can't believe you can actually eat it. And the B2B, with event venues as well. So
I'm going to jump in really quick.
Yeah.
How do you protect your market? For example, are you looking at like a fair trading mark that can go? How do you stop the corporates or the big events looking at your listing and buying direct? How do you, in effect, create a fair trade badge?
Yeah, I mean, I think the global good market is really important. That accreditation, we've got accreditation as plastic-free champions. We are building an amazing community of small businesses, and they are already incredibly loyal. So one really super quick example is we have reusable pass the parcel sets. so they can last from kids like from 4 to 11. They are amazing. Come see them pop up. And with those, they sell them with Velcro fastenings, which we can't have because it's plastic, or drawstring. And they said, we're only going to sell through you. We're only going to sell through you with the drawstring.
Looking at how you protect your marketplace or brand
Yeah.
it, or so that
Yeah.
you can sell it.
Yeah.
So you can protect your place,
Yes.
but you can also sell it via Sainsbury's with your brand.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we're trademarked as well. We've got registered trademark as well. Yeah.
Awesome. We'll have to wrap it
Thank
up
you.
there.
Yeah,
Well done,
that's
that's
quite
amazing. Okay, so next up we have Period Harmony.
Hi, my name is Raminda. I'm the co-founder of Period Harmony, and we want to revolutionise the way women experience periods. When I was dealing with period pain, I was tired of the lack of solutions out there. Hot water bottles and TENS machines are inconvenient, painkillers come with harsh side effects, and whilst relief balms worked, they only lasted an hour. It's estimated that 22 million women actively chose non-prescription forms of pain relief last year compared to the 1.5 million that did, showing the demand for alternative therapies. So, alongside a doctor, we set out to create something better, introducing the Period Harmony patch, a 4-way stretch patch that provides up to 12 hours of relief. It's already on the market and it's helped thousands of women manage their period pain. The team behind Period Harmony is myself and my co-founder, a doctor and a specialist in pain medicine and anesthesia. My background is in advertising. I've had almost a decade of experience working in the advertising industry. My work has won over 30 different awards. And in just 18 months since launching, we are already in retail chains such as Waitrose in 2 different markets within the UAE and the UK. And we are set to launch in the biggest pharmacy chain in the UK, Boots, next year. We also have made a name for ourselves online, and we've grown our social media accounts to 1.2 million followers without any form of paid advertising, completely organically. We are now doing our very first fundraising round to build on our organic growth, launch new innovations within women's health, and establish ourselves as the market leader in women's health. Thank you.
Great pitch. I was preoccupied listening. I'm not sure what my questions are. Your how much are you looking to raise and what is it for?
Yeah, so we're looking to raise about 750k, and that should give us 2 years runway, and that is to build a team. It's to launch new innovations within women's health as well. There are so many areas of period care that is very much overlooked, whether it's bloating, whether it's acne, whether it's fatigue, whether it's heavy periods. These markets are completely untapped and they're ignored, and I think it's time that we kind of create solutions in those areas.
Talk in terms of revenue, where you are now, where that 750k would take you.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why we really need investment at this point is to fulfill the opportunities that are coming our way. For example, launching in Boots is a massive opportunity, but it's across 500 stores, and we need investment for that. So I think with us, with our vision, I think we really want to establish ourselves in retail. It's where women go to buy pads. It's not usually online. So yeah, we want to make ourselves an essential product in retail, and we need investment for that.
Hi, Raminda. Amazing pitch and just phenomenal execution.
Thank you.
To where you've got to so far. Tell us a bit more about the team that you need to build out.
Yeah, so we have grown quite a lot on TikTok, and we've grown to 1.2 million followers on TikTok, and we really want to build on that organic growth by building a team, helping to build out the affiliate schemes that we have on TikTok Shop, which we're doing already in the UK, but there's also a massive market in the US, there's a massive market in Asia as well. And seeing as we have one flagship product right now, we really want to build on that and build on the following that we already have and extend our kind of team to those areas.
So the first question is cheeky. Would you like to run my social accounts? Because 1.2 million is genuinely amazing, so congrats on that. I'm assuming this isn't a regulated product. It doesn't fall under the medical device regulation.
Nope, it's completely natural. And one of the reasons why we made this a natural product is that, number one, is because it's much easier to launch in other markets. You have to obviously be very careful with the claims that you do, which we've ran by lawyers, so that's completely sound. And the other thing is that it doesn't interact with any kind of medication. If you were to take things like ibuprofen, you can do it in tandem with this patch, which is what a lot of women with endometriosis tend to do. They use this patch in tandem with taking ibuprofen if the pain is too much. But yeah.
Yep, that's it for me. Amazingly incredible pitch.
Thank you.
And then can we have to stage Reno, please?
Yeah.
It's a tiny bit.
About there.
We'll just take one step forward. It's just with the buzzing in there. So whenever you're ready.
Cool. So hello, I'm Callum, co-founder of Reno, and we're making home renovation digital. My co-founder Penny and I, we've been working together for 12 years, designing and building digital products and services like Boxed, the Uber for boilers. They now make tens of millions every year, which is awesome. But we bonded over how difficult it's been renovating our houses and avoiding disaster in the process, and so we've decided to do something about it. Tradespeople, homeowners, independent retailers are all suffering from the problems of an industry that's far behind the times. We go thousands over budget, quotes are underestimated, timelines go out the window, it's incredibly stressful, 1 in 10 couples ends in divorce during a project, and the opportunities to make energy and water reductions in terms of our usage in our homes, they just don't even get a look in, because by the time you get to that stage, well, it's been so stressful already, you're thousands down. So Reno is making home renovation digital to solve these problems. It's using technology to automate, to speed things up, to educate, to translate, to help people communicate their plans, help people communicate their quotes, so that every project gets done right the first time, on budget and profitably. We have an MVP web app already in market, 4,000 registered users, 220 have paid a subscription fee while we've been experimenting with pricing. We've got 3 retailer pilots, 1 kitchen company, 2 bathroom companies, and we're an experienced team with the editor of Living Etc. magazine recently joining our board, and we're raising 500k SEIS, EIS eligible first round.
That many went quick, didn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, really, really solid pitch again. The question that jumped out to me is, everybody loves a SaaS product with annuity, and yours feels like you buy it, you do a renovation, and you never want to hear about renovation again. So is it it's kind of a one-off customer engagement, or how do you see the relationship growing? Sorry.
Yeah. So the B2C, we started off at £5 a month. That wasn't great for acquisition cost. It's now £120 for a year for the homeowner for multiple rooms, or 60 quid if you're just doing one room. And we've only just launched that 3 weeks ago. And people have paid it, so we fell off our seats. We're like, oh, that's a lot more money. Whereas B2B, for the tradespeople, that's a subscription, £10 or £20 a month type thing. And then retailers would also be a subscription on a monthly basis.
Okay, so you get both sides of the transaction.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Really great pitch. So is the model just subscriptions, or are you looking at like affiliate revenue, like selling products in there? Is there a marketplace play in there?
Yeah, so these pilots, the pilot with the kitchen company, we've talked about taking a cut of the spend. So you buy a kitchen, Reno is the tool that you use on their site, white labelled, and we would take a cut of the money made from that. But that's super early days, so those pilots were kind of figuring out. We hadn't really considered the retailer offering to begin with when we started our journey. It's kind of a new thing, so these pilots are an opportunity for us to figure that out with these companies.
Great pitch. In terms of competition, what other offerings, what is out there?
Yeah, so the closest in terms of feature set is House Pro. So they're bigger in the States. They've tried to come into the UK. They target design professionals, which isn't so much of a thing that translates as well for the kind of mass market here. There's companies like Fixter who do really advanced 3D modelling of your products. Victoria Plum use them to help sell their products on their website. But the price point of that is so much higher than it is using ours. That's like thousands a month. We would be few hundred at most. And then Tradify and Fergus, there are a bunch of apps doing the kind of, there's a bunch of apps clawing for the tradesperson's attention, but they are mostly just pretty UIs on top of a spreadsheet. They're not, they help you do your invoicing or your quote, but you're like typing into empty cells, this is how I make a quote. Whereas we're using a floor planner that spits out what's actually in the plan for you automatically. You add prices to it. We're about to launch a bit of an AI plugin, just using ChatGPT, teaching it what's in the plan so it can help you like offer alternatives, that sort of thing. So being a lot more smart with tech than just, the competition has. Brilliant. Sorry.
Okay, next up we've got Intelligent Brief. Could you just stand slightly
Bit of a change of direction now. We good to straight away, yeah?
Ready, yeah.
So I want to start by saying, imagine what you could do with $200 billion. It's a big lot of money, right? That's the amount of money that is wasted annually in marketing. It's huge. The main cause of that is due to the overuse of generic and unfocused language. I know that because I've experienced it in my career. It's also the challenge that the Intelligent Brief is facing into. We help maximise creative effectiveness by using machine learning to unlock insights and connections between words, concepts and themes. Our platform, using our platform, users can quickly and efficiently express what concepts mean to them, explore and align what they mean to others, sharpen their language used and create intelligent briefs that is less likely to be rejected down the line. Who are our user? Our user is basically anyone involved in the creative briefing process. Beachhead is the marketing services industry because that's my background. However, we see big potential growing to the 9 million plus users worldwide in parallel categories in other creative industries. We launched our platform in March 2023. Following a successful test and learn incubation period in the brand design business and further extensive research with the prototype we developed. We have 300 users currently. However, our go-to-market strategy has been to basically conduct feasibility, test and learn studies with the end user so we know how to commercialise. Thank you.
Thanks for the pitch. Great pitch. Is your customer the person who wants their website that's briefing the marketing agency or marketing individual, or is it the marketing agency or individual that says, you want to brief us, can you do it via this platform?
It's both. It's essentially both. Essentially where I've started focusing because of my background. So I'm an ex-commercial director of various marketing agencies. Or I say ex, I still am. But basically, yeah. So it's very much the case. The test and learn has been with this, the marketing services provider in mind. Yeah. However, there's 450,000 of those in the UK and the US. There's 500,000 brands. It can be used by. I sort of talk about it being used by anyone involved in the creative briefing process. So that could be the briefer or the briefee. It could also be internal. It's a creative exploration platform. It's not like a ChatGPT that does the answers for you. It's about being able to kind of, as I say, really kind of like, I'll use the term innovation. So it's a word that lots of people use. It can mean one thing to me, something completely different to the rest of the people in this room. So, if I kind of can express what that means to me, we can kind of sit down and explore early on. And then there's less likelihood of ideas getting rejected down the line, basically, and the wastage that comes from it.
Hi, Janesh. So I'm going to say this with absolute kindness. So don't take this the wrong way. How do you compete with an AI plugin to HubSpot or a CRM?
Very, very different in actual fact. So again, an AI plugin is would largely use a large language model. That can get the same answers basically. So our platform, the way we've built it is by creating a bespoke data set. We use machine learning, as I say. So it's and what we've done is the way we've built it is to take the top 100 words, keywords that I kind of went out and asked what they would be. We've basically got the top 1,000 websites from those 100 keywords. We've read them. We've created different techniques. So basically, what we're doing is it's not a tool that sort of you can use kind of in conjunction, I guess, as well. But it's very, very different because we're plugging into different techniques, I guess, would be the easy answer. So it's a tool that you can use in conjunction, but actually, it's about kind of being a platform that facilitates that ease of kind of alignment. I would say. I don't know if that answers actually your question or not.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. So you're a fine-tuned model with ML and.
Fine-tuned, maybe. It's work in progress. It's early stages. It's been a hard thing. But again, the way I've been building it is basically by going and kind of having these sort of conversations with users and saying, this is the platform, this is where we are. Tell me what you'd like to see more, what you'd pay for, all that kind of stuff. So really, kind of as I say, the go-to market is really about the kind of the conversations I'm having and stuff that with the end users to hopefully go big. So.
Okay, great, thank you.
I've got two questions. They're both related, and I know Chris is going to glare at me. But the question is around, who's your team? Who's doing? Have you got a PhD in AI or a master's in MI? And and what IP are you spinning out of this? How are you going to protect what you're doing?
Yeah. So the IP one. I mean, we've got. The intelligent brief is trademarked. Obviously, I appreciate that's not IP. Again, it's sort of a work in progress. The team, particularly, is it's been a sort of struggle. I'm a solo founder. I've got a good network of people in the industry. So I have what I call like an audience advisory board. The people I go and test, they don't just give me the kind of answers I want. They go and give me kind of real feedback. I've got a team of advisors who span tech, they span creative, they span sort of general business management, they span startups. I think you probably know Lucy Payne is one of the people from TechSpark. So she's a good, close kind of advisor for me. My tech advisor is ex-IBM, the creative advisors is ex-Meta, and my sort of business advisor, marketing business advisor is P&G, P&G Danone, and he's currently a COO of a FTSE 200 pharmaceutical company. So I've built that there. We've also got I went through Set Squared, so I've built a good network there, and I've got a partnership with Bath University, so we're helping develop the kind of the data models there. So the IP comes in not using ChatGPT and plugins like large language models. It's about creating a bespoke, model for our own platform, basically.
Okay, thank you.
I'll type out there. Thank you. Cheers, Sam. Lovely. So our last pitch for today is Nexuhm.
Right, not sure about going last, but let's go for it. Right, so the average person spends over 90,000 hours at work, yet despite spending all that time at work, we still haven't figured out a way how to hire people for skills and culture. Nexuhm is an AI-powered recruitment platform that helps companies hire for company culture. So Nexuhm can help companies with scheduling interviews, posting to multiple job boards, candidate scoring, and then also doing the full automation of the recruitment all in one platform. By using Nexuhm, SMB HR teams can reduce recruitment costs, improve employee retention, and then also, as well, in regards to that, improve the quality of hire. And in regards to traction, we launched our MVP this year in April, and since launching it, we've had 3 customers demo it, and with 1 who's ready now to go onto a 12-month play plan. And then in addition to that as well, we've then also got 3 customers on a waiting list. When speaking about our team, we've got over 15 years experience between us in recruitment, engineering, marketing, and sales. And we've also secured a talent acquisition advisor and a organizational advisor as well. And so we truly believe that hiring for just skills alone is basically outdated. And when it comes down to culture, that's what we believe is the secret sauce to making companies really succeed. And we're currently at the moment preparing for SEIS Raise. That will really help us to build out a candidate sourcing product and then drive more marketing, customer acquisition, and then also basically tackle this $15 billion market opportunity.
as somebody who's wasted hundreds of thousands of pounds recruiting bad employees, this is music to my ears. But it feels like an incredibly hard market to crack. Can you talk to me about your go-to-market? How you're going to find customers? How you're going to persuade them to,
of course,
to spend money with you?
Okay, luckily in my day job I work in marketing, so I'm a head of performance marketing, so this is the world that I know really well. So when it goes to the go-to-market, we want to really focus more on the organic side before even touching on the paid side of it. And when I say organic, we really want to build a lot of content for recruiters, HR teams, talent acquisition, and we'll do that really by creating podcasts and then repurposing that content so that we can post it, video, audio, and then also in utilising that as well. We're really going to focus on our SEO strategy, so really making sure that we try to capture as much customers for cheap as possible, and then also as we go later on down the line, it's then building out our sales machine and hiring salespeople, and then once we get to the critical points, we'll then be able to tap in and utilise paid advertisement, which is what I do in my sleep, so I know that side of the world extremely well.
Great, thank you.
Amy Cloud. Breathe. Great pitch, really clear. I'm curious about how you... So this platform helps me find people that are a great cultural fit.
Correct.
How do you measure the cultural fit?
Great question. So that's why we've basically got an organisational psychologist as an advisor, because when it comes to culture, it almost is a finger in the air type of thing when you say it. It's hard to determine unless you're in the room and you can feel it. So what we're basically working on currently at the moment is building out our cultural frameworks, which essentially take a look at, okay, when you say culture, what is culture? There's so many different levels and layers of culture, from the team, from what leadership think culture is. So we're building out assessments that take a look at both the candidate side of it and then also the company side of it. Because if you were to go and ask any company what their culture is, they'll just tell you what's on their website, whereas the people in the company, they feel something completely different. And we want to make sure that it's not our job to judge what the company's culture is and say whether it's good or not. We just want to understand what it is so that we can help find the right candidates who are aligned with them.
Okay, that's really interesting. So you have to kind of detect the culture first. They may not know what their culture is.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a lot of work really when it comes to the onboarding side of it, but we believe through the AI and the organisational psychology side of it, we can basically create some really cool frameworks, which, I mean, that really talks into our IP. If we can really get that right, that really sets us apart from all the other recruitment platforms out there in the moment.
Very interesting, thank you.
And if you could develop this IP, would you consider selling that tool to other platforms like Indeed or Brand or LinkedIn? Because going to head with them,
yeah, it's tough.
Is tough.
Correct.
But you could have something that you could sell an IP to all the others.
I'll say possibly, but it's not really something that I'll say we're thinking about yet, because we're still so early on that we really want to almost develop it and then get it out to market where we get enough companies using it. I guess if the conversation came to it in 5-10 years time, then it would definitely be a conversation. And I guess it's also the understanding of knowing that, for example, with LinkedIn, with Indeed, they basically do it but in a different way, whereas we make it 10 times easier for a company to just come. They can create their job, post it, review their candidates, all in that one platform, whereas with an Indeed and LinkedIn, you have to jump about, and that's really a lot of time wasted for the talent acquisition, the recruiter, who has to do that on a day-to-day.
How do you recruit for cultural fit and also maintain diversity of thought?
So really, when it comes to diversity of thought, that's something that myself, James, co-founders, we spent a lot of time thinking about, because it's a big thing, especially when you talk about diversity. And I mean, I'll answer that in two ways. So the first way is with us, because there's going to be some bias from ourselves because we're building it. And that's why, well, I mean, James is over there, he's white, I'm black, so that's diverse straight away. But intentionally wanted to go our way to get an advisory board that's diverse. So the two advisors are female, because we wanted to make sure that we got good balance to know that, okay, are we going to miss something or we're not going to miss anything? But then when it comes to basically diversifying from the skill side of it, I think it really goes down to what we're feeding, especially from the AI side of it, on the machine learning, the prompts that we're giving it, to make sure that we try to eliminate as much bias as possible. And then also testing enough data to make sure that by the time that it rolls out, it's fairly diverse enough to capture enough, I say, diversity within the market.
Wicked, some amazing pitches there, solving some really big problems as well. So I'm always impressed by the way that the founders we have in the programme are so driven by the cause that they're trying to support. If I could just quickly ask the judges to make sure they've completed and submitted their forms. So our team at the back are adding up the scores at the moment, and we will shortly be able to announce who won the event. As I mentioned, there is also a People's Choice, so right after that we'll put the QR code, and when you're sort of drinking network in the end, you'll be able to vote for your for the People's Choice as well. So you have the opportunity to send someone to the final tonight. While we're doing the scores, I just wanted to quickly thank our sponsors. As I mentioned at the start, we do keep the programme completely free for entrepreneurs, and we can only do that because of our amazing partners. So first of all, we have Curry's Business. They've come on and supported us for the second year. They have some amazing kit, everything you need to run your startup, from the camera you see us recording today, the Rode mics, the laptops and so on. So that all comes from them, and you can go in store and get advice on what you need. They've done a competition with us this year called Kit Up with Curry's, and we've selected 2 amazing founders who've been given lots of kit to kickstart to start their social media off, so you can follow their journey through the pitch with Curry's as well. We've also got Tide, the amazing Challenger Business Bank. We ran a pop-up today with them, and if you're in Bristol tomorrow, we'll be at Sparks with some of the founders that you've seen here tonight who'll be selling on their stalls, so do come and check that opportunity out as well. There's also a £5,000 grant up for grabs for product-based businesses as well. So if you have a quick look at our website, if you are selling a product, you can apply for that. And that can hopefully be absolutely revolutionary for somebody's journey who's at the early stage. So I started my business with slightly less than that, and it can hopefully make a big impact on somebody out there. We also have FounderCatalyst, and we heard a little bit from Sam in terms of what they do and how they support founders. So they've been helping us this year with Sam doing deck reviews. So if you do want feedback on your deck, it's not open right now, but you can register your interest. And Sam basically breaks down the decks, helps founders understand kind of from an investor standpoint what support they can get. We've also got a discount code if you do want to get your legals done for your founding round as well. So I appreciate the support, Sam, for third or fourth year in a row. And finally, we've got Notion. So I'm pretty sure everyone in this room will have heard of Notion, but they are an all-in-one platform to run your business. So it comes with lots and lots of awesome templates, but you can customize it to the absolute infinite degree. So that's everything from processing orders, your marketing plan, even your funding round. It's basically a system to get everything in one system. So again, we've got a partnership with them, which means you can get 6 months, 6-month trial for free, and that's listed on the website as well. So I'm hoping that in a minute I'm going to get a nod from the back, but I'm getting a nod from the back. But really quickly from the judges, I'd love just to hear a kind of a summary comment of what you heard, what you thought of the founders today before we announce the winner.
The quality of the pictures was amazing, really, really high in terms of the innovative products and tech. Brilliant.
I'm just having such a fun time. It's brilliant. It's so much fun. Just well done to everybody standing up and pitching. You're putting your heart out there, aren't you? So yeah, well done. Not easy, and really, really clear pitches from everybody today.
What the other 2 judges have said, I guess, but and as always, really, really, different pitches, very, very different. Some products, some services or whatever. It was really refreshing as well. Every single pitch deck I see is jam full of, we use ChatGPT to do X, Y, Z, which is so me too. It's boring, I think. Honestly, from an investor point of view, there couldn't be anything more of a turn-off at the moment than we use ChatGPT. But where it was mentioned in the pitches today, it was clearly adding a little bit of that value, and it was tangential to the mate. It wasn't we're a GPT company, it was we're using it a different way. So that was really refreshing. I think the tide's turned on hearing that every day, thank God.
Excellent, love the summary, and obviously there'll be time for drinks after if you do want to carry on having fun with us. So yeah, could I have the envelope please, and we'll find out who's won. Can you just give me the envelope? Okay, it's Period Harmony, so if you want to pop up on stage. Just give us a few words.
Sorry.
Few
Yeah, I don't really know what to say. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a really good experience. And yeah, I guess see you in the next round.
Wicked. So that's it for tonight. As I said, you've still got your, oh, that's the CBD one. Yes, People's Choice Awards. So yeah, we can stay to drinks for another half an hour or so. So have a beer with us, have a snack. Let's support the startups, have a chat, and I see all the cameras going up. Get out the way. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. We get one final round of applause for the judges and founders.